A costing model is a systematic approach organizations use to allocate costs to their products, services, or projects. It helps businesses determine the total cost of producing a product or delivering a service, considering various cost components such as direct materials, labor, and overheads. By accurately allocating costs, a costing model enables organizations to better understand their cost structure, make informed pricing decisions, and identify opportunities for cost reduction and process improvement. In the context of a manufacturer, a costing model can help improve profitability in the following ways. Accurate product costing. A well-designed costing model allows manufacturers to allocate costs to each product, clearly understanding each product's profitability. This enables the manufacturer to make informed decisions about product pricing, promotion, and production levels. Cost control and reduction. By identifying the cost components and their drivers, a costing model helps manufacturers pinpoint areas with potential for cost reduction. This can lead to more efficient resource utilization, waste reduction, and lower production costs. Improved operational efficiency. A costing model can highlight inefficiencies in the production process, such as bottlenecks, idle capacity, or underutilized resources. Manufacturers can then take appropriate actions to optimize their operation, leading to increased productivity and lower costs. Better pricing decisions. Understanding the true cost of production enables manufacturers to set prices that accurately reflect the value of their products and cover all associated costs. This ensures that the manufacturer maintains a healthy profit margin and remains competitive in the market. Informed decision making. A costing model provides valuable insights into the cost structure of the business, allowing management to make informed decisions about product mix, production levels, capacity planning, and investments in new equipment or technology. Enhanced performance measurement. By allocating costs accurately, a costing model enables manufacturers to evaluate the performance of different departments, product lines, or processes. This helps identify areas for improvement and drive overall organizational performance. In summary, a costing model can help a manufacturer become more profitable by providing accurate cost information that supports better decision making, pricing strategies, cost control, and operational efficiency. By leveraging these insights, manufacturers can optimize their resources, reduce costs, and ultimately increase their profitability. How do you build a managerial costing model? These steps envision both an operations model that shows the flow of organizational resources and their associated costs captured in a manner that causally reflects the characteristics of the resources and processes. 1. Identify the resources the organization has available. This step involves cataloging all the resources within the organization that contribute to the cost structure. These resources include labor, materials, machinery, infrastructure, and overhead costs. Identifying these resources helps understand how costs are incurred and allocated within the organization. 2. Identify the managerial objectives. Understand the strategic goals and objectives that the resources are meant to support. This can include increasing market share, improving product quality, reducing costs, or enhancing customer satisfaction. Knowing the managerial objectives helps align the costing model with the organization's overall strategy. 3. Develop an understanding of the cause and effect relationships between managerial objectives. Analyze how the different managerial objectives are interrelated and how the resources allocated to these objectives affect each other. Understanding the cause and effect relationships enables the organization to optimize resource allocation and identify areas for improvement. 4. Design a model capturing the managerial objectives and their relationships to resources and activities. Create a costing model encompassing the identified resources, managerial objectives, and causal relationships. This model should represent how costs are allocated to different activities or objectives and how changes in resource allocation can impact the organization's performance and goals. 5. Describe the model to include its scope, intended uses, required inputs, outputs, and underlying assumptions and limitations. Provide a detailed description of the costing model, including its purpose, the data inputs required, the outputs it generates, and any assumptions or limitations inherent in the model. This helps users understand the model's applicability and ensures that the model is used correctly and effectively. 6. Implement and maintain the cost and operational model. Implement the costing model in the organization's operations and decision-making processes. Regularly update the model with new data, revise assumptions as needed, and fine-tune it to improve its accuracy and reliability. Maintaining the model remains relevant and helpful in supporting the organization's objectives and decision-making. Fundamental principles of a costing model. The core principle of a managerial costing model is causality, which emphasizes the cause and effect relationships between an organization's resources, processes, and objectives. The aim is to provide accurate and relevant cost information that supports decision-making by reflecting the true economic relationships within the organization. When causal relationships don't exist or are weak, it is essential to allocate resources and their associated costs in a way that does not distort decision making. This can be done by identifying indirect or shared costs and allocating them based on appropriate cost drivers or other relevant factors that minimize the risk of misleading information. To build a causal model of an organization's resources and processes, follow these steps. 1. Map the organization's processes. Start by identifying the key processes and activities within the organization and understand how they contribute to the overall value creation. 2. Identify the resources. Catalog all the resources involved in each process, such as labor, materials, machinery, and overhead costs. 3. Determine resource consumption. Understand how each resource is consumed in the various processes and activities, and identify the cost drivers associated with resource usage. 4. Establish intermediate managerial objectives. Identify the intermediate objectives that lead to the achievement of final managerial objectives, and understand their relationship with the processes and resources. 5. Link resources to objectives. Trace the use of resources through the intermediate goals to the final managerial objectives, establishing a clear cause and effect relationship. 6. Assign costs based on direct relationships. Assign costs to the various objectives, ensuring the actual consumption of resources and minimizing the risk of distortion in decision making. By following these steps and focusing on causality, organizations can develop a robust managerial costing model that provides accurate and relevant cost information for effective decision making. Pull versus push model, which is best. In a well-designed managerial costing model, resource usage and associated costs are not pushed onto activities or objectives arbitrarily. Instead, they are pulled based on the actual performance of activities and the consumption of resources. This approach ensures that cost allocations are accurate and relevant for decision-making purposes. When resources are not fully consumed, the idle or excess capacity remains within the resource pools. This excess capacity should be identified and reported separately, as it provides valuable information for management to make informed decisions regarding resource optimization, capacity planning, and cost reduction initiatives. By focusing on the pull concept in managerial costing, organizations can achieve the following benefits. 1. Enhanced cost accuracy. Costs are allocated based on actual resource consumption, providing more accurate cost information for decision making. 2. Improved resource optimization. By identifying idle or excess capacity, management can make informed decisions about reallocating or reducing resources to optimize their use. 3. A better understanding of cause and effect relationships. A pull approach helps to highlight the causal relationships between resource consumption, activities, and objectives, enabling management to identify areas for improvement and better understand the impact of decisions on the organization's performance. 4. Increased transparency. By tracing costs through activities and objectives, the pull approach provides a clear and transparent view of how resources are used within the organization and their impact on performance. 5. Greater focus on value creation. The pull approach encourages organizations to focus on activities that efficiently create value and consume resources, leading to more effective resource allocation and cost management. Overall, using a pull approach in managerial costing helps organizations allocate costs more accurately, understand the impact of resource usage on performance, and make informed decisions to optimize resource utilization and achieve their strategic objectives. Adding monetary units to the model. In a managerial costing model, it is essential to first establish the operational quantity model based on real resources and processes. This approach ensures that the causality is grounded in the actual operational activities of the organization and accurately reflects the cause and effect relationships between resources, processes, and objectives. By first building the operational quantity model, you can identify and map the stronger causal relationships and minimize the risk of weaker or non-causal relationships distorting the overall model. This approach helps maintain the cost model's integrity and provides more accurate and relevant cost information for decision making. Once the operational quantity model is built, monetary units can be added. This involves assigning costs to resources based on their actual consumption in the various activities and processes. By doing so, the model accurately represents the economic impact of resource usage, allowing management to make informed decisions based on precise cost information. In summary, by building the operational quantity model first, and adding monetary units afterward, you can ensure that causality is based on real resources and processes, and that weak and non-causal relationships do not distort the stronger causal relationships. This approach leads to a more accurate and reliable managerial costing model that supports effective organizational decision-making and resource allocation. Why are so many companies not willing to invest in developing a costing model? Many companies hesitate to invest in a managerial costing system for various reasons. Some of the key factors include 1. External financial reporting focus. Many organizations prioritize external financial reporting to meet regulatory requirements and satisfy stakeholders, such as investors and creditors. This often results in the accounting function being more concerned with financial statement preparation rather than generating insights for internal decision making. 2. Limited understanding of the benefits. Companies may be unaware of a managerial costing system's advantages. The benefits, such as improved resource allocation, better decision-making, and increased operational efficiency, may not be immediately apparent or quantifiable, making it difficult for organizations to justify the investment. 3. Inadequate resources or expertise. Some companies may lack specialized knowledge and skills to develop and implement a managerial costing system. Additionally, the costs associated with hiring experts, training staff, and maintaining the system can be substantial. 4. Reliance on existing systems. Many companies may believe their financial systems are sufficient to support internal decision making. They may be unaware of the limitations and inaccuracies inherent in traditional costing systems when used for managerial purposes. 5. The mindset of crucial personnel. As you mentioned, CFOs or other critical decision makers recruited from public accounting firms may not have the mindset to prioritize managerial costing. Their background and experience may predispose them to focus on external reporting and compliance rather than exploring ways to generate actionable insights for internal management. To address these challenges, organizations should consider the following steps. 1. Educate leadership and stakeholders about the benefits of a managerial costing system and how it can positively impact the organization's performance. 2. Develop the necessary expertise and resources to implement and maintain a managerial costing system through internal training or external consultants. 3. Communicate the importance of internal decision-making support systems and the need for a separate costing model focusing on causality and value creation. 4. Emphasize the need for a cultural shift within the organization that prioritizes data-driven decision-making and values the insights provided by a managerial costing system. By addressing these issues, organizations can better understand the potential benefits of a managerial costing system and be more willing to invest in developing and implementing such a system to support internal decision-making and drive operational efficiency. Costing models in academia. Valid points regarding the challenges faced in promoting the adoption of managerial costing models in organizations. Indeed, academia, practitioners, and operations personnel play a role in this issue. Academia's role, as you mentioned, some educational institutions may be reducing the focus on management accounting in their curricula, leading to a lack of awareness among practitioners about the value of managerial costing models. This can result in fewer professionals who are knowledgeable about and advocate for such systems in the workplace. Possible solutions include 1. Encourage educational institutions to emphasize the importance of management accounting and managerial costing models in their curricula. 2. Promote research and collaboration between academia and industry to explore the benefits and best practices in implementing managerial costing models. 3. Practitioners' role. Many practitioners may be unaware of the potential benefits of managerial costing models due to their limited exposure to the concept. They may focus more on traditional financial accounting and reporting, which might not provide the necessary insights for internal decision making. 4. Provide training and development opportunities for practitioners to learn about managerial costing models and their benefits. 5. Create awareness through professional association, conferences, and publication, showcasing successful case studies and the advantages of adopting managerial costing models. 6. Operations personnel's role. As you pointed out, many operations professionals have become accustomed to receiving uninformative accounting information and have developed their systems or given up on seeking more relevant information. This can hinder the adoption of managerial costing models in organizations. 7. Educate operations personnel about the benefits of managerial costing models and how they can provide more accurate and relevant information for decision making. 8. Encourage collaboration between operations, finance, and accounting departments to ensure that the information generated by managerial costing models is used effectively. In conclusion, it is indeed a challenge to promote the adoption of managerial costing models in organizations. However, by addressing the issues you mentioned and implementing the suggested solution, it is possible to create awareness, develop the necessary expertise, and ultimately drive the adoption of these models to improve internal decision-making and organizational performance.